Hello, first graders. This is week 9, day 1 of our literacy instruction. But if you're following along on 3 weeks of instruction, we are on week 3, day 1 of our green learning packet. So see, I have my green learning packet out. I know it's a Tuesday. We did not have school yesterday, so we are starting Tuesday as day 1. Then tomorrow, Wednesday, will be day 2, and that is it for literacy instruction this week. You guys are at the end of it. Congratulations. You've done a great job so far, and I think your second grade teachers are going to be impressed. So for literacy today, we have plural nouns, CH digraphs, and reading comprehension. Okay. So for plural nouns, this is when we take a noun. Remember, a person, place, thing, or an animal. We turn a plural noun, so plural, or a singular noun, so that means one, into a plural noun, which means more than one or many. So it could be 2 or more. So let's take a look up here. These are birds, right? The singular noun is a bird, but we're identifying plural nouns, okay? So to identify the plural noun, well, we know that 1 is a bird, but 2 is birds. Now, to add all we need to do to make it a plural noun is add an S, okay? So if you add an S on most nouns, you are going to be able to turn it into a plural noun. Now, there are a few exceptions to the rule, so as we go along on the worksheet, we'll address those if we come across those new specific rules, okay? So I look at my word bank. I know that there are 2 birds, so I know it can't be bird, so I find the one that has birds with the S at the end, the plural S. So birds here, I know how to spell it. B-I-R-D-S. And now notice how the tall letters start at the bottom, they reach the top, and the small letters are only going from the bottom to the middle dotted line. We need to work on our handwriting at this point in the year. That's a skill that our second grade teachers are going to appreciate. The older we get, the better our handwriting is going to get, because we are going to be putting in that practice. Okay? So we've done birds. I'm going to check that off. Now we could take a look at our next picture. Now that is a cat. Do you see more than one cat? No, I do not. So we are not. This is not a plural noun. This is a singular noun, a cat. So we do not want to add an S to this one. So I go ahead, I find it. Well, I found cats, but I know we don't want the plural one. We want the singular one. So drop that S to make it singular, which is cat. So I have C-A-T, cat. Check it off, and I know I've already used it. My small letters touch the bottom line, go to the middle, and my tall letters from the bottom to the top. Now, remember how we just need 2 or more for a plural noun, okay? So you only need 2 or more, so it doesn't matter if we have 3 turtles. That's the same as having 2. We have many, we have multiple, we have plural turtles. Okay, so it's not just singular, we have a plural noun here. So if it was 1 turtle, we would have turtle, like this. But we have more than 1, so we need to add that S to make it plural. So we have turtles up here. T-U-R-T-L-E-S, turtles. Alright, now, I think for the rest of these, except for one, you guys will be able to do really well. Okay, so now I want to do the hardest one on here with you, just so that you understand. It's one of those funny rules. Now, bunny, remember a regular bunny ends with a Y. So we see the singular bunny ends with a Y, but if you take a look down here, we have another picture that has 2 bunnies. That has more than 1 bunny. We need to make this plural. Now, how do we make a word with a Y at the end plural? Okay, so this is one of the rules where if it ends with an Y, we have to drop the Y and add an IES, okay? IES turns it into a plural. Now this could go for other nouns. Let's say if you had a belly. So you could say belly, you turn it into bellies. BELLIES. I drop the Y, add an IES. Okay? Now, unfortunately, it doesn't work for every single one. And one of those exceptions to the rules is toy or boy. Now, normally, if you wanted to make it plural, you drop the Y, add an IES. But for those words, you can just add an S and it makes it plural. Sometimes our English rules don't always work out. So sometimes in literacy you have to be a rule breaker. Alright, so this does it for our plural nouns. Hopefully this is enough information for you. There is another video on plural nouns that could help you, and that's only a couple minutes long, and that is also attached to the daily learning plan. Okay, so next we have our CH digraphs. We've worked with this before. We know that CH together makes that digraph of ch, ch, ch. So you hear that ch, ch, ch. You have chair, chest, cherry, chin, cheese, chalk. Okay? So if you look down here in your word bank, our directions say trace the word, cut and paste the CH word to match the picture. So if you trace the word, go ahead. I'm just going to do one. So we have chin. I traced it. Then I'd cut all these out after I've traced them, and I'd paste them to the right picture. Now, if you guys want to practice your writing, which I think would be a good idea, and practice your spelling, I want you to take a look at the word. So I'll read them all one more time. We have chin, chair, cheese, chest, chalk, cherry. Now I want you to challenge yourself. So if I read chin, I find my chin picture. Now I would say chin, I read it. Now I want to try to memorize it and write it before I paste it. So ch, ch, ch. So I know my CH digraph. Ch, ch, ch makes CH. I have that short I sound. N sound at the end. So challenge yourself to be a better speller. Read it and then try to spell it on your own. Now, I have chair. So I find my chair picture. I read chair. I'm going to cover it. Now when I spell, I can think ch, ch, ch. I know CH makes that ch sound. Now air, I have a long A sound. One of those combinations that make the long A sound is that A-I, chair. Now I have my at the end. You could spell it out. Maybe you know how to spell air, and maybe you know how to spell ch, ch, ch. So you have ch, air, chair. Okay? So you guys should be able to do the rest of this on your own. You guys might be pros at the CH digraph already. Now, normally our reading comprehension would deal with the CH digraph, but today it's doing the TH, okay? So don't get confused. We are moving to a TH digraph in our reading comprehension. That makes the sound, okay? So now it says directions, read the passage, and answer the questions. So Thor is sick. Thor dropped his hammer with a thud. His face was thin. Thor's dad got off his throne. He looked at Thor's thin face. I think you are sick, he said. Drink this medicine. I'm not thirsty, said Thor. He sat down with a thump. Drink it, Thor, his dad said. I'm not thirsty, and my throat hurts, said Thor. You are sick, said his dad. Now, for the third time, drink it. Thor drank the thick medicine. He thought it tasted bad, but he got better. Okay, so since this is taking place of our reading fluency, I want you to try to read it 3 times on your own. So pause the video and read it 3 times. Alright, thank you for pausing that video. Now we've done this before, where we are going to go back, we're going to highlight or annotate our text, find our text evidence. We're going to highlight the first one in red. Now I do not have a red pen, so bear with me here. You guys will just underline our answer, our text evidence in red, and it says, how does Thor's face look? Now you go back and you find where does it tell me about Thor's face. Okay, so I underline where it tells me about Thor's face, and then I would say Thor's face. So Thor's face looks, and then describe it. Use your adjective, okay? That finishes the sentence, and I know I started with a capital. My words make sense, and I have a punctuation at the end, okay? So going on to number 2, why won't Thor drink his medicine? You're going to highlight or annotate your text in orange. So find your text evidence, and then you highlight it in orange. And it says, why won't Thor drink his medicine? Now, I want you to go back, find where does it say Thor, why won't he drink his medicine? And then you can tell me here in the answer. So you highlighted your text evidence, and you can say, Thor won't drink his medicine. And you want to use a word like because. Okay, so medicine, because. The word because lets us know that you are going to give a reason. So after the word because, you list your reasons. Thor won't drink his medicine because, and then you tell me your reasons, your text evidence, and finish with a punctuation, a period. So you have your capital, your words make sense, and then you have your punctuation at the end. Now the last question says, how many times was Thor told to drink his medicine? Now you can find that back here in our text, and we're going to highlight it in green. So highlight it in green. How many times was he told to drink his medicine? And you could say something like this. He was told blank, so that's where you'd write in the amount, times. He was told blank times, okay? So fill in the number. That means our sentence is started with the capital. Our words make sense once you fill in the number. And then we have punctuation at the end, okay? So that does it for our reading comprehension and our literacy for day 1. Join me tomorrow for our last day of literacy in the year. And boys and girls, if you do have extra sheets in any of our learning packets, I would suggest keeping them over the summer and just practicing whenever you can. Now, I'm not saying, practice all day, every day, especially when you have nice sunny days and can get outside and play. I'm not saying that. It's just something you should have maybe for a rainy day, or if you guys are going on a long road trip, you guys can practice some of these skills and come in better prepared for 2nd grade.